What's happening in California, or as my friends back east call the left coast? Hi, this is Glenn Russell with American Tea Time. In this segment, we look at how our state's left-wing government, basically a single-party state, has turned the California dream into a nightmare. People are leaving in droves as they can't stand the politics, the prices, and the regulation California offers. Businesses are leaving because they can't stand the regulations. Retailers are leaving because they can't stand the losses from shoplifting. They're leaving for Texas, Arizona, Tennessee, Florida, mostly Republican states where they can be around like-minded people. When you look at California, it has everything: oil, lumber, gas, vast mineral wealth. We have some of the best universities in the country, in fact the world. Caltech, USC, UCLA, Berkeley. Use any measure you like, California was on top of the world. So how do you destroy all of that? While we have the highest personal income tax in the country, our gasoline is the most expensive because it's blended for marginally cleaner air. We have the highest gasoline taxes in the world. Our regulations are so out of whack, refiners don't want to be here or invest here, so we pay more. If you look at homelessness, we have almost half of the nation's homeless people. We have 1/3 of the nation's welfare recipients. 27% of the state's residents were not even born in the United States. Our school test scores rank us 45th out of the 50 states. Our state income taxes, local taxes, and add-ons are rising as we speak. We have the highest car registration fees in the country, and the list just goes on. People then ask, well, what do we get in return from our fantastic weather? Well, what you get is our schools are pushing their liberal woke agendas, some of the highest crime rates in the country, San Francisco and Los Angeles being the highest. We've turned these once thriving cities into homeless ghettos with crime and drugs out of control. No law and order, with understaffed and underappreciated police departments trying to keep it all under control. When they do arrest someone, we get some leftist DA letting the bad guy go for being disadvantaged or some bullshit. House prices are out of whack too, selling for $1,000 to $1,500 per square foot, 8 or 9 times the national average. The high cost of electricity is between 27 and 35 cents per kilowatt hour. It's unsustainable and it's not reliable, with a power grid that has ossified over time with a lack of investment. And when the winds come, the lines break and cause wildfires. All the while, the state is pushing us to drive electric cars. Our past governors, Pat Brown, Reagan, Pete Wilson, and even Schwarzenegger, all agreed that if you want to grow, you have to build that infrastructure. 40 years ago, the 405 and 101 freeways were top-notch, modern for the 20th century. Things back then were built for growth. 16, 18, 20 million people, no problem. Then that stopped. No new major freeways developed, period, hoping people would not come, but they did come. And the people that came and are coming from impoverished countries, Africa, Central America, Eastern Europe, and they need massive state services. Our medical services have gone from about 7% to around 30% of the state's budget. You go into some of our smaller California towns in the summer when it's over 100 degrees and you'll find the Walmarts packed with people. They're not buying. They're wandering around to try and stay cool because they can't afford to cool their homes with their out-of-control electricity prices. This state has a $7 trillion market cap. This is the greatest concentration of wealth in the history of civilization. The elites of these companies in the state, the Apples, the Facebooks, the Googles, these wealthy elites fund the left. As an example, in 2020, when there was talk of Biden possibly losing, Zuckerberg paid $419 million in pre-selected precincts to absorb the work of the registrars. We have a one-party state. There are a few Republicans in power, but the liberals control the state Senate and Assembly. They control all but 11 congressional seats, so it's clearly a one-party Confederate system. But now the lawlessness is out of control and the thugs are coming into Beverly Hills and Malibu murdering and looting. There is no shoplifting anymore. They just walk into any store, steal what they want and walk out. No need to run. They need that Gucci bag to sell for bread to feed their families. Thank you, AOC, for those words of wisdom. It's not good, people, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. So think about this next time before you vote. A vote for the left means more of the same, and California will eventually fade into lawless oblivion.